Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about how RV life has destroyed our marriage.
Hello redesigners, and welcome back to the channel. And for those of you who are new here, oh my god, Carrie, there are a ton of new people here, and we want to thank each and every one of you for subscribing. Whether you've been here for the past 3 years or you're just finding us, thank you. But just in case you don't know who we are, I'm Bob.
I'm Carrie.
This is Life Redesigned, and well, we'll give you the rundown real quick. In 2022, Carrie and I sold everything we owned. We said goodbye to our conventional lifestyle and the American dream of 1.5 acres and 3.2 kids. And we decided to put everything that we owned inside of our 2023 22 MLE from Grand Design. Now, when we say nothing else, we mean that there is no storage units, there's no friends' houses, we don't have an Airbnb that we rent out. This is what we call real RV life, and that's the focus of our channel. That's something that you appreciate and would like to know more about and haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Now, if you appreciate all of this and you've already subscribed, well, hit the thumbs up because Carrie likes that equally. Now, pre-YouTube fame and pre-YouTube life and pre-full-time life, well, there was once a boy and once a girl who met in a coffee house parking lot. And for me, it was love at first sight. And I asked her to marry me, and, well, this fool said yes. And we immediately got married. This is no joke. There wasn't a long time. We had a kid 9 months later.
Yep.
Like, this is real life. 9 months later, we had a kid. We got married a year later because, well, the church wouldn't marry us when she was pregnant. That's a whole nother story. But we got right in. We jumped right in. And Carrie and I, that's what we do, right? Carrie and I are firm believers in the universe shall provide. And, well, I asked, and the universe provided me with her. She asked for somebody handsome. Well, she got stuck with me. Over the course of that time, in part of that jumping in, Carrie and I had to learn everything right off the bat about each other because we didn't have that courting period. When I asked Carrie to marry me and she said yes, this wasn't like, hey, this is great. This was, hey, I'm moving in next weekend. And again, no joke. Yep. Best decision I ever made, by the way. I don't know about you. You might have your reservations. But anyhow, over the course of the next 20 years, it wasn't easy. Carrie and I struggled. We had to learn each other from the beginning. We had kids, so you had to jump into that mode. We've had knockdown, drag-out fights. Hell, Carrie and I both come from divorced, dysfunctional families.
Yeah, I swear I was switched at birth.
And I wish I had.
Yeah, no kidding.
I can't stress this enough, is that being from divorced, dysfunctional families, and we're not saying that is in a whimsical kind of way. This is legit. Neither one of us had an idea of what marriage was. In fact, my only knowledge of what marriage was well, from the Brady Bunch. And I think Carrie watched One Life to Live.
General Hospital.
Well, Luke and Laura for her. So, there comes that. So over the course of 28 years of marriage, 30 years together, when we started doing our research for full-time life, well, that marriage was the last thing that we were worried about. Because, well, as I said before, of all the people that got married around the same time that we did, we're the only ones still married. Still going strong. Well, Carrie and I, hell, we hold hands everywhere we go. We're that cheesy couple. Now, when we get on the road, we noticed that things were changing a little bit. For the first few months, we had fights to deal with because when we picked up our brand new Grand Design, well, the skylight was pouring water in the bathroom, and Campers Inn and Myrtle Beach and Grand Design customer service were both horrendous. And yes, that is speaking the truth. Both companies are just horrible to deal with on a customer service level, and they just kept blaming each other about repairing the skylight in our brand new home, right? And which may not be a big deal, but it is a big deal when you're underwater inside your brand new house. So all our energy was focused on those two companies and the bad experience we were dealing with. Once the smoke cleared, and Carrie and I started waiting for 1,000 Trails to kick in, and we're living the life, and we're living the dream. We're staying in Myrtle Beach. We've got RV resorts that are literally on the water. We're having a blast, and you start to settle back in. And that's when we found out our marriage wasn't that hot. pretty soon the full-time reality, as we like to call it, kicked in. You're in a small space, and things that you could normally do inside your sticks and bricks, like if you're in an argument for, say, I can go to the left wing, she go to the right wing. You're not doing that in a 20-foot travel trailer. In fact, you're not doing much outside of each other, and you have to take that all into consideration. When your living room and your bathroom are 3 feet apart from one another, you have to start realizing that you got to be a little bit considerate of the other. There is no more taco dinners for Bob and just, being flatulent and gassy and hotboxing the whole RV because, well, she got mad about that. Things that would fly normally, no pun intended, inside the old house, all of a sudden didn't fly inside the trailer. That's a big thing to get used to. That, and this goes for everything from space, and the big part of this is communication. Our whole communication style. Well, I'm Italian, as you have probably noticed. You get dizzy watching me bounce around because of all my medical issues, and I can't sit still, and Carrie gets mad about that. And then she would raise her voice, and I'd have to tell her, well, I'm not one of the children. You can't talk to me like that. And then she'd go, who the hell are you talking to? You get the point. The communication style is horrible. In fact, we've seen it to the point where if you're home and you can yell and scream, you can't do that in an RV because the cops will be called and you'll be asked to leave. It hasn't happened to us.
No.
But it has happened to neighbors of ours inside these RV parks. On more than one occasion, we've seen the cops come and we've seen them pack up and leave.
Yep.
Because, well, nobody knows how to communicate anymore. And that's a big thing, and that's the biggest takeaway here is communication. There's communication, and there's being on the same page with that communication. So a little softer stance on my part has gone a long way, and I like to make sure now that Carrie knows how much I appreciate her. At home, Carrie did all the cooking. She did all the child taking care of, and I did all the quote-unquote man things, right? I took care of the plumbing when the pipes broke. I took care of the vehicles when they needed maintenance. I mowed the lawn. She did 90% of it. I did 10. One thing that I immediately realized was that needed to change pretty quickly. That was a harsh reality to come into, was that our marriage wasn't as great as we thought, and it's actually pretty devastating. And we were heartbroken about it because, well, you can't walk around thinking you've got the perfect marriage and then realize that you talk to each other like a couple of animals. Mm-hmm. And there's that division of chores and one thing that I immediately stopped doing was having her cook dinner every night. In fact, I cook now, I'm proud to say, I cook 98% of the meals.
Yeah. That's
my job now. So a little backstory on that is I work full-time remote for a national company. And it was very important to me that when we hit the road full-time that Carrie did not work. I felt that she has done enough over the course of years, and, well, it's time for her to relax a little bit. And now she really has a full-time job answering the comments on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram because, wow, that's exploded. But there's a certain thing where your lifestyle changes, right? I'm still in home mode where I work full-time, and after work I cook dinner now. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm not always up for going out for experiences, whereas Carrie is in that kind of vacation mode sometimes where she wants to get to the next park because she wants to go explore. Just like we are today. For those of you who are wondering, we are in Hyde Park in beautiful London, Ontario, Canada. See how random I can be? So that brings us to being on the same page, and we've alluded to this in other videos, is that your marriage needs to be, well, on the same page both before and after RV life. And we see a lot of couples, boy, where one of them wants to go full-time desperately and the other person wants to stay home and knit. That is doomed right from the beginning. And we've seen the unfortunate side effect of this lifestyle is a good portion of people hit the road full-time and they end up getting divorced because, well, they weren't on the same page. And this is something where if you're not, you need to find common ground quickly or your marriage is going to go. Mm-hmm. Fortunately for me, she's just as quirky as I am. And our common place is, well, we like to go to the unconventional spots in life. Mm-hmm. While everybody's going to Buc-ee's and Wall Drug and the Grand Canyon and everything, and there's nothing wrong with those places, we're finding random neighborhoods to go find a park to go walk in. We're checking out, first thing we do in every town that we're in is we go check out the Walmart because we want to see what the local wildlife is like. The other part is why the communication is the same and being on the same page is, well, It comes with the surprises that happen, the challenges of full-time RV life. Jerry and I have run the whole gauntlet between broken RVs, blown out tires, trucks that won't fit the bill, bad dealers, bad RV parks, bad managers, a bunch of BS from YouTubers selling things that, well, just quite didn't get the job done. And you get the point. The things that make that difference is how you adapt to those challenges. I am fortunate to say that at this particular point, because Carrie and I recognized quickly that things needed to change, we've been able to adapt and overcome a lot of these challenges. I still have meltdowns. I still am without medication most of the time, and I go off when there's something that just isn't right. Case in point was I went, after arriving in Michigan, I went to log into work, and next thing you know, my laptop had died and everything went kaput on me. I take my job seriously. I'm probably one of a dying breed, it seems to be, in this lifetime. But at any rate, Carrie watched me have a complete meltdown because it was a situation I couldn't control. And, well, cooler heads prevail, and we get through it. In past videos, we've been critical of the RV lifestyle as it's portrayed by other YouTubers. The reality is we live in a culture where everything is rushed to the next Instagram spot, take the picture, pose perfectly for that candid shot, and move on to the next one. Boy, the reality is if you live on that moment through someone else's focus and someone else's narrative, you can feel inadequate right from the beginning. Once we realize that, we can do this and do it our way, that was the big thing, is admission that, you have a problem and you got to fix it. Life has been good as long as we continue to communicate. Now, wherever you are in this journey, if you're looking to start or you're in the middle of it and things just aren't going your way, take a deep breath and realize that, you can get through this. Now, don't get me wrong. I say this next part jokingly, but, if you're in a crappy marriage, sometimes you just got to cut chains and go. But if you're committed, right? Sometimes you should be committed for being married this long. But it's all in your approach and how you handle things. Now, we'd like to know from you guys in the comments below, has your marriage been better or worse since starting RV life? No shame, no call-outs.
No.
If you don't want to leave your name attached, you can always shoot us an email. Our email is in the video description. Hell, you can even send us a postcard if you like. Our address is down there. Go for it. The point is, wherever you are, and hopefully these videos resonate with you, is that you don't need to have that Instagram moment to have a happy marriage. Just be happy with one another and enjoy each other's company. After all, that's what this lifestyle should be, is, a way to reconnect with one another. Anything you want to say? I know you've asked me to speak through this whole thing.
I know.
Because you were a little nervous about this. But...
Yeah, I did my piece up front.
So anything else that you want to add that I missed?
No, just be patient. You got to have patience. And for me, not to be so uptight. Bob has this thing where he has to have more and more and more because he has to have backups for things. And what if there's not a grocery store? And what if... Okay, the space is only so big. So, yeah, it's something we're still working on a little bit, but, other than that, just patience, and when there's an issue, just address it.
A big takeaway from this video, for no matter whether you're 20-something, 80-something, or whatever, is just simply the motto that Carrie and I go by, which is the universe shall provide. If you put in good, you'll get good back. If you put in garbage, you're going to get garbage back.
Yep.
That's just the way life is, no matter what the scenario. That's it. We'll cut the video here. And again, let us know in the comments below what you think. Okay. For Life Redesigned, I am Bob.
I'm Carrie.
I'll catch you
next time.
Next time.